Imagine a place so remote that reaching it takes days of travel through winding mountain roads and rugged trails. Hidden deep within the Himalayas of Nepal lies one of the world's most dangerous traditions. For just a few weeks each year, local hunters risk their lives to collect a rare type of honey unlike anything you've ever seen. This isn't ordinary honey. Known as mad honey, it contains natural toxins from Himalayan rhododendron flowers. In small amounts, people believe it offers medicinal benefits, but taking too much can lead to hallucinations, dangerously low heart rates, paralysis, or even death. Despite the risks, one small community continues this centuries-old practice using the same traditional methods passed down through generations. To harvest the honey, they climb towering cliffs using handmade rope ladders, while thousands of giant Himalayan honeybees swarm around them. Every climb is a battle between courage and survival, and today we're following these extraordinary hunters to witness one of the world's most dangerous honey harvests. After nearly 2 days of flights, long drives, and exhausting mountain roads, we finally reached a small village hidden deep in the Himalayas. This is the home of the Gurung people, a community that has preserved the ancient tradition of mad honey hunting for generations. Life here is simple, but every family carries a deep connection to the surrounding mountains. Before anyone begins the dangerous journey, local customs must be respected. The village elder performs a traditional blessing, sprinkling water for protection and tying a sacred thread around each visitor's neck. The ritual is believed to guard against bad luck, illness, and the dangers waiting on the cliffs. As the sun rises, the entire village comes alive with preparation. Experienced hunters gather to discuss which cliff offers the best chance for a successful harvest. Meanwhile, others begin assembling the handmade bamboo rope ladders that will soon hang hundreds of feet above the valley floor. Every rung is carefully secured by hand because once the climb begins, there's no room for mistakes. Nearby, another group collects fresh green branches to build large bundles of smoking leaves. This natural smoke is their only defense against thousands of giant Himalayan honeybees. There are no modern climbing ropes, no safety harnesses, no backup equipment, only generations of experience, teamwork, and incredible courage. Within a few hours, everything is ready. The hunters shoulder their equipment and begin the long trek toward the towering cliffs where one of the world's most dangerous harvests is about to begin. As the team reaches the edge of the massive cliff, the atmosphere changes completely. The laughter and conversations fade away. Everyone becomes focused. Every person knows that what happens next could mean the difference between life and death. The hunters carefully secure the handmade bamboo ladder to the trunk of a strong tree. Every knot is checked several times because this single ladder is the only thing standing between them and a deadly fall. Far below, enormous honeycombs cling to the vertical rock face. Each hive is home to thousands of Himalayan giant honeybees, the largest honeybees on Earth. Unlike ordinary bees, these insects are highly defensive. Once disturbed, they attack in huge numbers, and their powerful stings can easily penetrate thin clothing. Before anyone begins climbing, another team lights the bundles of fresh green leaves. Thick clouds of smoke slowly rise toward the hives. The smoke doesn't eliminate the danger, but it briefly confuses the bees, giving the hunters only a small window to work. With one final look at his team, the lead hunter steps onto the rope ladder. Slowly, he disappears over the edge of the cliff. Suspended hundreds of feet above the ground, he carefully lowers himself toward the giant honeycombs. Below him, nothing but open air. Above him, thousands of angry bees begin circling through the smoke. Every movement must be precise. One loose step, one broken knot, or one moment of panic could end the expedition instantly. And now, the most dangerous part of the harvest is about to begin. The smoke begins to spread across the cliff, but it isn't enough to stop the bees. Within seconds, thousands of them burst from the hive, filling the air with an angry, deafening buzz. The hunter has nowhere to hide. Balanced on a narrow bamboo ladder, he grips the ropes with one hand while holding a long wooden pole in the other. Every movement demands perfect control. With careful precision, he reaches toward the massive honeycomb and begins cutting it away from the rock. The hive is enormous, heavy with honey, that has taken millions of flower visits to produce. As the first section breaks free, the bees become even more aggressive. They swarm around his face, strike his protective veil, and sting every part of his exposed body. Still, he doesn't stop. Below him, another hunter steadies the collection basket, making sure the precious honey doesn't fall into the valley. One mistake could waste the entire harvest, or worse, send someone falling hundreds of feet to the rocks below. Piece by piece, the golden honeycomb drops safely into the basket. The teamwork is flawless. Every person knows exactly what to do, and years of experience keep the operation moving, despite the constant danger. After nearly an hour of climbing, cutting, and enduring countless bee stings, the final section of honey is lowered to the ground. The harvest is finally complete, but the journey isn't over yet. The rare mad honey still has one final surprise waiting for everyone who dares to taste it. With the harvest complete, the hunters carefully carry the fresh honey back to the village. Before anyone tastes it, the honey is strained to remove pieces of wax, tiny insects, and other natural debris. What remains is a thick, amber-colored liquid, unlike any ordinary honey. Its aroma is sweet, but with a slightly bitter scent that hints at its unusual power. For the local people, this isn't just food. For generations, it has been used in small amounts as a traditional remedy for fatigue, high blood pressure, and digestive problems. But everyone knows one important rule: the dose makes all the difference. A single spoonful may produce only mild effects. A little more can cause dizziness, blurred vision, nausea, and an unusually slow heartbeat. Too much can become life-threatening. Curious to experience its effects firsthand, I take a small spoonful of the freshly harvested mad honey. At first, it tastes surprisingly sweet. Then within seconds, a sharp bitterness spreads across my tongue, followed by a warm, tingling sensation in my mouth. The locals smile. They've seen this reaction countless times before. They know the real effects don't appear immediately. Sometimes it takes several minutes, sometimes even longer. As we begin our hike back through the mountains, I can't stop wondering, what is this rare honey about to do to my body? Within the next hour, I'll find out the answer. About an hour after tasting the mad honey, I begin to notice something unusual. At first, it's just a faint tingling in my fingertips. Then a wave of warmth spreads through my body. Within minutes, that warmth fades into an unexpected chill. The mountain air suddenly feels much colder than before. As we continue walking, I realize my balance isn't quite the same. My legs feel heavier. My heartbeat seems slower. Even simple movements require more effort. One of the locals notices my condition and calmly tells me that these are common effects of mad honey intoxication. For people who aren't used to it, the experience can become overwhelming very quickly. Back at the village, another member of our group who tasted the honey begins feeling much worse. He turns pale. Moments later, he starts vomiting repeatedly. His body becomes weak, and standing up is almost impossible. The atmosphere changes instantly. What started as curiosity now feels like a real medical emergency. Everyone reacts differently to mad honey. Some people experience only mild dizziness. Others suffer nausea, blurred vision, numbness, and extreme weakness. In severe cases, the toxins can slow the heart to dangerously low levels, requiring immediate medical treatment. As the hours pass, my own symptoms continue to grow stronger. A pounding headache develops. My fingers become numb. Time seems to move strangely, and concentrating becomes increasingly difficult. For the first time, I begin to understand why this mysterious honey has fascinated and frightened people for centuries. The night is far from over, and the strongest effects are still waiting to come. By the next morning, the worst of the symptoms had finally begun to fade. The nausea was gone. My body slowly regained its strength, and the numbness in my hands disappeared. After nearly 24 hours, I felt like myself again. The experience was unforgettable. What looked like an ordinary spoonful of honey had turned out to be one of the most powerful natural substances I'd ever encountered. For the Gurung people, however, mad honey is more than a rare product. It represents generations of knowledge, courage, and respect for nature. Every harvest is a test of skill. Every climb is a gamble with life. And every successful season helps preserve a tradition that has survived for centuries. But this ancient way of life is slowly disappearing. Fewer young people are willing to risk their lives on the cliffs. Many have moved to cities in search of safer jobs and better opportunities. Today, only a handful of experienced hunters continue this remarkable practice, carrying forward a tradition that may one day vanish forever. Watching them work was a reminder that some of the world's greatest treasures come at an extraordinary cost, not because they're expensive, but because they're earned through courage, sacrifice, and generations of wisdom. High above the Himalayan valleys, where giant bees build their homes on impossible cliffs, these hunters continue to risk everything, not for fame or fortune, but to protect a legacy that has defined their people for hundreds of years. And perhaps that's the true story behind Mad Honey. It's not just about the honey itself, it's about the people brave enough to harvest it.